as you said afterward, it was pretty much everything about Marty.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a really tough match to be a part of. I don't think anybody, especially not the Americans, wanted to play him. He's a great player. He's a great athlete. So whenever he's been off for a while, you still think he can come out and play a really good match. And I think it was nervy from both of us at times, but I'm just glad to be through.
What did you tell yourself sort of to manage the situation? And did it feel like a different kind of match?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it was really weird the whole time. I've had a great relationship with Marty for the last few years. He and I are in the same fantasy baseball league. I just met his kid downstairs 2 seconds ago. So it's just such a tough match to keep trying to play tennis and be in the moment. I kept trying to bring myself back to the court and think, game plan and what's going on with the match. I feel like at times we both hit some good shots. At times we both had some points that we probably could have played a little bit better. And when I was having those points that were a little off, I just kept having to try to get myself back into the groove of at least giving myself a chance. Because, even if you're not playing your best every point, you still got to give yourself a chance to win.
You practiced the other day, so you had some idea of what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
What is his level?
His level is very, very good at times right now, and then he obviously has some errors that you can tell have been away from the game for a little bit. And I think that he's got one of those abilities to clean up things quickly. He's kind of got that. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like Tommy Haas or somebody who is away from the game for a little while, but then as soon as they come back, it's just like clean. And he's definitely got that ability. He hits a lot of good free points on his serve. So even at times, whenever he would double fault a couple times in a game or two, he would then turn around and hit 2 aces and get right back to 30-all. And so you're going, okay, this is good. I'm getting an opportunity here, and then boom, opportunity gone, and I didn't touch a ball. So like I said, just trying to stay focused on doing everything you can do. That's one of the things I've been really, really focusing on lately is not, I'm 30-40 down break point and not really trying to obsess over making or missing the shot, but just more thinking basic stuff like hit my split step on the right spot, make contact at a good point and have good intent with the shot. And then usually that's the way that'll get you better results as opposed to don't miss, don't miss, don't miss.
Today, Marty talked about conditions being kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the statistics, your serve has some struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you write off? Is that something you just write off on the conditions, or is there something you're going to need to work on for your next round?
It's definitely a little bit of both, to be honest with you. You understand that it's part of the conditions because it was windy and tricky in there. But then you also go out tomorrow and hit, some serves. Honestly, I didn't quite serve as much as I would have liked to out here just because, honestly, I've never played this many matches to start a year before. So I'm still trying to juggle the amount of practice and rehab and really taking care of my body. And I really felt like I was in a little bit of a dead arm phase about a week and a half ago. After Acapulco, I wasn't hitting his liveliness that I wanted to. Fortunately, that started coming back in the last couple of days where, I was really actually happy whenever, even though I missed the serve, to see myself hit it up over 140. That was me saying in inner confidence, like, okay, my liveliness is back in my arm, So back to your point, my serve is something I have a lot of confidence in, and I'm always going to go after it. And some days, that's uncharacteristic for me to double fault 7 times, but I still got to win. So
You've played so many matches this year, and Fish hasn't
Mm-hmm.
played any, more than a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like match toughness, especially in pressure moments, was the difference today?
Yeah, at times my match toughness definitely came into play. There's different things that he can think about while he's playing that can relax him a little bit. I think that his mindset, as was reported a lot before the match, it was a win for him to be on the court, mentally and physically to be back out there and in the position where he was playing competitive tennis again. So that would be a way for him to kind of get himself to relax and execute under pressure. And like you said, my match toughness and the amount of matches that I've been playing lately, even though I wasn't playing my best tennis at times during the match, to be able to be down 15-40 and serve and volley and hit a good volley. Those can be look easy on TV, or look easy from outside, but they can be pretty shaky whenever you're down match point. It's not always a guarantee. And then again, after double faulting 7 times, to be hitting a second serve against Marty's backhand return, which is pretty good. It's another tricky situation. So I was able to hit a good one and kind of get out of that hole. And it was just up and down the whole time. I get a mini break early in the tiebreaker, lose 2 points on my serve, flail a forehand that was just middle of the court, no reason to miss it, and just kind of let it go. So I just kept telling myself, hey, stay with it, do the best you can, and try to keep working toward the W.
So there's a lot of luck involved in tennis, whether it's a lead court or anything else. No one I know more than you has had one devastating draw, not just 2 or 3 times, but again and again and again. Could you reflect on that? Have you gotten any advice? But what did you say inside you?
Sorry. It's one of those things. I feel like I'm looking at it like this. I'm 22, and we have so much. You can say bad luck with draws, but more good opportunities that I've had to play against the top players and the best, biggest stages in the world. The plan is obviously to have a successful year and get back up to the top 30, top 40, that area of the game. And then you're playing against those guys regularly later in tournaments on the big courts. And at that point, the experiences that I've had of playing them first, second round, there's no court that I haven't played on. I'm not going to walk out on center court Wimbledon if I play on it this year, and it's not going to be a new experience. I've already had it, by playing Novak there. I've already had every court as experiences. So in a way, you can look at it from a negative, but also as a positive that, if I don't let the brutality of the losses that I took, the amount that I took in a row from the top 10, and finally obviously breaking that streak there in Acapulco. But just looking at it from a point of view right now, I'm saying I believe that I can win. The mental kind of rehearsing stuff that I was talking about, a little bit throughout this year of just being in the moment and playing my tennis is going to be key whenever I'm playing against those guys. If I get in a position to win, or if I win the first set or up a break or anything like that against Kay, just focusing on point after point and not thinking about the magnitude of the situation.
We had a really rough weekend in Glasgow. Not a great exact stretch for American tennis right now. Talk about that, your thoughts, and what you think you can do to change it.
Yeah, it was obviously a tough tie. John was so reliable for a number of years, and all those away matches in Davis Cup. 3 matches, or I think, 3 that I've been a part of that he's come out big. Beat Roger in Switzerland. He beat Tsonga in France. And then I believe actually it was Marty who, when I was in Colombia with him, beat Faya and Geraldo, which was 2 5-set matches. It's tough because I think that John would feel the pressure, feeling like he's going to have to play well and win his matches. It's just tough. We're all doing the best we can. I obviously want to be on the team. I feel like I'm ready to be on the team. I said recently, I feel like I'm playing the level of tennis to be on the team again. To be trusted in the situation, you have to put those sorts of results up for months at a time and not just 2 months. So it's on me to be continuously consistent with results and then get myself an opportunity to get back on the team. Obviously Donald never even had to play the match that everyone was talking about, being the one, that everyone wanted to select. Everyone was saying, who are we going to pick to beat James Ward? Are we going to pick Sam Querrey or Stevie or Donald? We didn't even get to that match, so it kind of was null in the end. But Jack is back healthy. Johnson's right outside the top 40, as well as Sam and Donald, and I'm playing really well again and on the way back up. So we have a few guys who are younger and really raring to get back on that map as far as Davis Cup and relevant in later rounds of big tournaments, and hopefully this year will be a good indicator that we're all ready to do that.
Let me ask about the next matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So You played K a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
What did you take away from that match, and how are you going to use it this time?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that I was in position to win that match. I won the first set, got behind in the second set, and then got behind again in the third set and had a number of chances. I think I had love 30 in like 3 or 4 games to break back in the third and just couldn't capitalize on it. But he came up with some good shots. So play a guy like him, you know, you have to be prepared that you play some good points to give yourself a position to break, and then it honestly doesn't really matter because he comes up with a great shot. So I think it's going to be a little more relaxing out there because, you know, there's not so much heaviness of emotion like there was today. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of relax and settle into the zone. I won't be missing as many forehands or just rolling them in as well, you know, kind of like I was today. I'm going to have to play well, but I definitely believe I can win. I feel like I've been consistently in those matches with those guys, with Kay in Memphis, and then, you know, Grigor, and then winning the first set against Ferrer. I feel like I'm playing that type of tennis that's going to be capable of winning these matches.
Ryan, sorry.
Mhm.
How big was Acapulco for you, and what have you sort of been carrying with you from that?
Well, from a just obviously strict ranking standpoint, points-wise, it was, you know, by far my biggest point total of my life. I'd never put up more than a 90 before, and it was a 200. So obviously, ranking-wise, it moves you up. You try not to obsess over ranking, but it's hard not to whenever every tournament you enter is accepted based off of where you're at. If I can get top 100 by the end of, you know, I think it's like Houston, then I get main draw for Europe. So that's great. But confidence-wise, being able to finally win against a top 10 player, it was, you know, it became way bigger of a monkey on my back than I wanted it to be, because I would get in position to win those matches and then honestly just kind of think about it the whole time. You know, I need to win this, and that just freaked me out a little bit. So, you know, being able to stay in the moment and relax into just my game. And then I think I did a really good job in that match to finally break the streak. Whenever I was playing Grigor, I lost the second set. I was down love 30 right away in my first game, in my service game in the third, and I kind of fought out of that hole and then was able to run away with the third. For me against Kay, it's going to be a lot of the same. It's just focusing on what I can do, and as long as I'm maximizing what I can do on any given day, then I'm going to be able to at least continuously improve.
Ryan, you won a match when you were pretty young on the tour level match, and then you came in, you had attention, and you had, you know, a lot of that, but you seem to go about things in a pretty disciplined manner, and you had a way. And I'm just wondering if, you know, now looking back a little bit, you feel like you went about things the wrong way back then, or you learned, you know. Again, I felt like you were, even though you were young, you're pretty serious, you were always focused on improvement, but did you, looking back now, do you feel like you did some things that you would have done differently? Yeah,
I mean, it's one of those things, like these last 3 months that I've had have been the most fun months of my career. Not because of results, but more just because it's been really, really enjoyable. Like every match has been a challenge, you know, whether I'm playing young American guy or, you know, whoever, it doesn't matter who I'm playing. I'm just excited for a new challenge because it's going to be an opportunity for me to try to overcome another obstacle that's working toward being a great tennis player. I felt like I was way too insecure with everything. Whenever I was coming through the first time, I would obsess and overly obsess with everything that was written by you guys, everything that was said or thought by the greats of the game, everything that was told to me. Maybe that doesn't look fundamentally perfect, or that doesn't look technically sound. I mean, there's nobody in the world that'll say that Rafa looks as smooth on the court as Roger, but yet they're both amazing players, you know, and you just can't sit here and overly obsess over one particular comment or one thing, and that security of belief. I mean, that's, like I said with Rafa, I mean, you just look at him, his demeanor. He's a champion on and off the court, win or lose the match. He could lose first round here on Saturday, and he's still a champion. You know, he does everything the right way. And that, it takes a lot to get to that point where that security with yourself is so imminent all the time. And it took me, honestly, to fall off the map. I mean, literally where I was losing consistently first rounds of challengers last year, you know, and it wasn't like I was close. You know, I was losing some bad matches.
Falling off the map seem to have the opposite effect and make you even more insecure, right?
It can, but then it hit to a point where I finally said, okay, you're faced with the challenge here. All right, you can kind of let this whole thing overcome you, and you can almost let your career be something that you just accept all the beatings that you're going to take, or you stay up and you keep being persistent, you keep fighting. I think everyone who knows me knows that I fight pretty hard, and I wasn't going to let that happen. So then with my team, with my agent, with my girlfriend who's been with me through the ups and downs the whole way the last couple of years, we sit there and we talk about what's going to be the best possible move. Where do I need to live? Who do I need to work with? I made a call to Andy Roddick, asked him, how I can get this thing back going in the right direction, because he was such a great mentor to me for a long time. From just following him, I pretty much followed him to the top 50 in the world. I mean, literally just by doing what he was doing and not even realizing that I was doing the right things, by just kind of emulating what was on the court. And I was having quality practices all the time. So we got Grant back. That was huge. Grant's been literally astronomical to my game. I can't even describe how great it is to have him on board. I mean, I owe so much of my success to what he's doing right now on a daily basis to work with me. Andy's been huge in my corner, helping me big time. I hit with him for the 2 days, and I was back in Austin in between Acapulco and here. He's out there all the time. He doesn't have to be. He does it because he likes to do it, and he wants to help, and it's greatly appreciated. And so I just took a lot of enjoyment in the fact that I still have great people who are trying to help me get back to where I want to go, and still believing that I can get back to where I want to go. And as I start to win more matches, and as I start to put myself back on the radar again, so to speak, it's still going to be even more important that I stay secure with exactly what I've been doing in the last few months, which is getting myself in a position to consistently win matches, and that's what we want. I've played a number of matches this year. I've lost 5 matches, and 4 of them were in 3 sets, and the other one was like 3 and 6, so I'm giving myself a chance every day.
What's been the best advice that you've gotten in your career, whether it was during the ups or the downs, but if you select one of those?
The best advice. I think it'd be more like the message, because it's not so much one quote, but just like the message is pretty much just, be the best that you can be every day. And that's going to obviously vary on any given day, and be okay and confident in your abilities regardless of what happens on one particular match or one particular week. You can go up and down, but you have to have that self-belief, and that's the message.